Hello, welcome to Sapco. My name is Bob Soulier, and thanks for your interest in the Brew Magic brewing system. Today I'd like to give you an explanation and an introduction to the Brew Magic and tell you how it works. Then after that, let's go over to the test facility and we'll do a little investigative work and find out some exciting new programming that's being designed for the system controller. Finally, let's meet up with some brew friends. Let's get our hands dirty a little bit, and maybe we can figure out a way to fill this sorry looking glass.
Born back in 1990, the Brew Magic system was invented out of necessity. Brewers realized that a smart, repeatable, small-batch brewery could be extremely useful and cost-saving for pilot recipe development, along with pub and restaurant operations, and even private weekend home brewers. But there were several obstacles in the way. Virtually every small system available at the time demonstrated some big variables that can cause inconsistency, unpredictable off flavors, and generally less than repeatable results. Today, most every small system offered is designed by home brewers rather than by brewing professionals. All make great beer, but only one makes great beer repeatably. Lack of repeatability is the worst thing that can happen to recipe developers. You can't tune your recipe unless you can control the brewery as well as the brewer. Lack of repeatability is also the worst thing that can happen to a pub or restaurant when a customer asks for the same tasty product enjoyed 2 weeks earlier and you can't make the same exact product twice in a row. Lack of repeatability to the home brewer can mean the difference between a third-place entry and the best of show winner. What was needed was a small system that could create some brew magic. Some very smart people took on the challenge. The designers of the system included the best brewing brains in the business, including the late great author of Principles of Brewing Science, Dr. George Fix. Master brewers and electrical engineers joined in the project as well. Their goals were the complete elimination of those several undesirable variables such as temperature control, caramelization of wort on heated surfaces, stratification or heat layering in the mash, stirring effects, hot side aeration due to showering or sparge arms, turbid or hazy runoffs, wort handling problems, sanitation issues, the list goes on. Brew Magic went through 4 prototypes before it ever reached the market. The third of these was proven to have completely eliminated the entire list of problem variables. That was 2 decades ago. Today, the smart little brewery that began so long ago has grown into the most desired small batch pilot system in North America. Found in nearly 20 countries globally, it has been continually improved and perfected by Sapco through the years. Notice the heavy construction. This is designed for continuous commercial usage, not just for the weekend warriors. These are pharmaceutical grade tri-clamp connectors, the same ones used in the biggest breweries. Easy on, easy off, with a sanitary smooth bore and no threads. You'll find them at every disconnection point throughout the system. What touches the product is all stainless or FDA certified material. The frame is balanced and not top heavy and has a very durable powder coated baked enamel finish and your choice of propane or natural gas burners. The gas manifold is also powder coated and built right into the frame. The entire system utilizes heavy lockable casters for easy mobility and safety. Notice the sanitary welded construction of the kettles and the pharmaceutical smooth bore tri-clamps that provide no place for bacteria to hide. Sapco does not use homebrew style bulkhead fittings by simply drilling a hole and putting a gasket and threaded nut on the interior of kettles. We do it the same way the major brewers do it. Sabco is an approved reconditioner of stainless containers for the largest breweries worldwide. Only the highest quality sanitary well techniques are used to create these systems. Notice the keg design kettles. You might ask why the designers wouldn't simply choose basic kettles, which are much less expensive to make. There are many reasons that would take a long time to explain, but here's the most important. These are heavy-duty 304 food product stainless. They have a long-term, proven history of resistance to rugged handling. They're designed specifically for aseptic cleanability with smooth, curved walls. They have built-in comfortable handles and protective skirting that makes them virtually invulnerable to dropping. But most of all, they have concave bottoms that direct wort flow in a very uniform fashion to a centrally located siphon. Heat from ring-type burners is uniformly distributed on the curved lower surface and trapped within the skirting. This increases efficiency and protects other equipment as well. The electronics package is entirely UL rated and is housed in a NEMA-style gasketed panel box that is lockable and employs a ground fault interrupter for your safety. BrewMagic uses two sources of heat for mashing. The amazing color touchscreen controller will advise the brewer when to turn the burner on to assist in getting the mash up to target temperature quickly. Then, as the desired temperature is approached, the controller will advise the brewer to turn the burner off. At that time, the onboard electronic heat exchanger will efficiently bring the wort to the exact temperature and maintain it until the brewer wishes to make a change. Here's what's going on. Grain is suspended on an all-stainless perforated false bottom with liquid below and an equal layer of liquid above it. The grain is in a constant state of free-floating equilibrium between the layers. Wort is then pulled from beneath the grain in a very uniform pattern. Unlike the corners of flat-bottom kettles, the liquid moves directly to the centrally located siphon and is pulled away from the heated surface below. No caramelization can occur during burner operation. We will be circulating without stirring, showering, or agitation of any kind. All are variables and are less than repeatable. The wort travels past a sensor probe that monitors the temperature directly from the wort stream. The outbound valve is fully open to keep the pump and the electronic heat exchanger flooded at all times. Both are located within the panel box. The pump gently pushes the wort through the exchanger and then back through the return plumbing to the mash. We restrict the return valve to maintain the same level of wort that we started with on top of the grain bed. This return rate is dependent upon the density of the grain bed and how well the wort is able to pass through it during circulation. Simple monitoring at the beginning of pump activation is a quick and easy task. Wort is directed back to the mash in a slow-turning whirlpool pattern. A simple length of flexible FDA tubing is positioned on top of the grain bed and directs the return flow outwardly and horizontally to create this whirlpool effect. The goal is simply to blend the surface temperature of the top layer of liquid without any agitation and not to cause any wort or grain husk damage by stirring. The action of the siphon below gently and uniformly pulls the blended upper layer of wort through the grain. When final adjustment of temperature is achieved by the controller, this very uniquely controlled blending of liquid through the grain creates the perfect mash environment. The temperature throughout the kettle is perfectly the same, top to bottom. You continually spend the grain and gain efficiency all without stirring. Stirring is a huge variable that can modify the grain husk, possibly leach tannins, and create off flavors.